Okay, welcome to the accessibility section. So accessibility is very important, even though it might not look like we're changing much here. And we added some accessibility features, but let's kind of talk about why we need to add them, why they're important, and let's kind of fix up all of the issues. So accessibility basically allows everybody to use your website, all right? So it doesn't matter if they have vision impairity or maybe they have some sort of disability. We want to make sure that everybody who visits our website, they can basically use it properly and they're not going to have any issues. Okay, so the first important step into making your website accessible is to use HTML5 semantics, and that can also help us in a way because it's going to make our code pretty clear here. So rather than just using a bunch of divs here, we can clearly see what each intention of each HTML5 element is. So I know that this is a header, I know that this is a nav, and I know the purpose of it. Okay, so it just makes the code cleaner rather than just using a whole bunch of divs and you're like, what's going on here? I don't know. But more importantly, again, it helps people who are using screen readers, which is kind of a device that reads out the text and each section of the page that they are on. So it's actually a voice that reads out, hey, you are on a nav here. You are accessing a link, you are accessing maybe a form. But if you're using divs, it's not gonna know. So if we press F12 here in Firefox, and I can turn on this accessibility features, you're going to see here that we have a document, and even the title is important because when they access the website, it's going to say Travelly Agency. However, if we don't have that title in here, that's going to give us an issue. We also want to make sure to add a language here in the HTML. Thankfully, the boilerplate automatically generates this for us, as well as the character set here. Okay, so we don't really have to worry about that because it gets automatically generated. But as you can see, the title shows up in here. And when we further expand, as you can see, we have a landmark here, which is our nav. And in here, we get a heading and we have a list. So it clearly says that, hey, this is some sort of list with anchor tags. Because I could be using divs here, I can just wrap this whole list here in a div and I wouldn't have any issue. It wouldn't be any different from my part. However, with screen readers, it's clearly going to say that, hey, this is a list with some list items in here that has a name of location, benefits, and contact. All right, so it's just going to make it a bit more clear. So please make sure you use HTML5 semantics. One thing that we can add to ours is to maybe wrap this whole section here in a main tag. So all the way below the header nav here, all the way down right above the footer here. So we can wrap that to kind of tell everybody that that's the main content of our website. So in here, as you can see, I already added it, but what we can do is just add a main section here, a main element here to wrap all these sections. So from here all the way down here. Okay, so there we go. That's going to be step 1.